I met and we'll talk about WASP later, but the first time I ever met Chris Holmes, I was at the Troubadour, and I was taking a leak, and I had on my Lemoore shirt from
From
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
And he said, "Hey, my band." He walked up next to me. He was pissing next to me. I had no idea. I'm not paying any attention. And he goes, "Hey, my band played at Lemore's before." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, man." And I look up. I'm like, "Oh shit, I bet you did, man." Fucking Chris Holmes standing right there. It was awesome. That was early on when I first moved there, and I was still kind of starstruck by people just motherfuckers just walking around in
Yeah.
bars and driving down streets and in restaurants and stuff. If you live, and this will all make sense later when I tell all my stories, but I'll say this up front. If you live in LA long enough, you will see, meet, or know somebody who knows somebody that's famous, or somebody's friends with them, where they're like, so and so's coming over to the house, hang out for a minute. You want to meet so and so? They're coming by my house.
Yeah.
Shit
Yeah.
like that. And you'd be in the grocery store, at the mall, driving down the street. You look over, George Foreman's in a tiny little red Honda, old beat up red Honda, driving down the freeway. I look,
Grilling a burger.
George Foreman. Right. But okay, so first time I met Chris Holmes. No, I told you about the first time was in the bathroom at the Troubadour. I wouldn't consider that a meeting. It was just a sighting.
Yeah.
Many years later, at this point, Decline of Western Civilization had already come out. He was already famous for the scene of pouring the vodka all over his face in front of his mom in the pool. And by a side note to that, the very first guy who speaks in the Decline of the Western Civilization, try to say that 3 times, the metal years, is a dude named Brett. I was standing right next to that dude when they came up to us and said, "Hey, y'all want to be interviewed for this next installment of this Decline of the Western Civilization?" We were like, "Tomorrow, you got to be here a certain place." I was like, "Yeah." We were both like, "Yeah, dude, we're there. We're there." I got hammered and didn't go, just blew it off. Didn't think it was that big of a deal. Didn't really think much about it.
Yeah.
I'd never even seen the Punk Years one at that point.
Right.
And so I didn't go. And I'll be goddamn if that thing doesn't come out and that dude's in it. I would have definitely been in. He showed up and I didn't show up. And so he's the very first guy in that movie.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you've seen the scene of Chris. Everyone knows about it, pouring the vodka and stuff. One day, I'm at home. I'm sick. It's like a Friday night, and we used to always go to the country club. Chuck Landis's country club was like a mile down the road from where I lived. I lived on the same street, Sherman Way, as the country club. And we would always if we went there, we'd tell everybody, "Hey, after hours party at my house, after hours party at my house." Well, I told my buddy, my roommate, I said, Denny Ray, I said, "Dude, whatever you do, don't bring people back tonight. I'm sick. I'm not even going. I'm staying here. I'm going to bed."
Yeah.
So I hear middle of the night, 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, I hear all this noise. And I'm like, "Oh shit, there's people in my house." I open my door. My door in the bathroom door is right. My bedroom door is right here. Bathroom door is literally right next to it. I open the door and Chris Holmes is standing right there waiting to go in my bathroom. And I go, dude, as soon as I saw him, I go, "Dude, whatever you had to look, I'm looking up because he's huge." I go, "Dude, whatever you do not fucking get hammered and fuck my place up." And he goes, he looks at me, he goes, "Dude, I promise I won't do one of these." And he does like he's pissing, and then he does a full circle. Like, I won't do one of these in your bathroom. So I laugh, it's funny. And I get dressed and I come out and I hang out with Chris Holmes all fucking night. He was cool as hell. He was chill. Not a ton of people show. But what happened is my buddy Denny didn't go around, "Hey, we're going to have a party." The fucking band, Hans Naughty, who we were really good friends with, this band called Hans Naughty, announced it over the PA on stage. So all these people showed up because the band announced, because that's just what they did. And we hung out with those dudes all the time. So they just assumed party at Todd's house.
Right.
So it's fucking, and Chris Holmes shows up.
Now,
it was awesome though.
Didn't you and Chris one time take his Corvette for a beer run or something?
Yeah, many, many, many years later, like I said earlier, I prefaced this earlier, if you live in LA long enough, you either will meet somebody, you'll see somebody, or you'll know somebody who knows somebody. Well, I was at a friend's house, Denny Ray's house, same dude,
right?
Except Denny's in jail. Denny gets thrown in jail for a few weeks, and I'm over there partying with his old lady and a bunch of my other friends. They're like, "Yeah, come by and party." And they go, "Hey, Chris is on his way over." So I'm like, "I'm kick ass." Chris Holmes shows up, piece of shit Corvette, wires hanging from it, no shoes on, no nothing, comes in, same old shit, I don't even remember if I ever even told him that story. I'm sure I did.
Mm.
And we hang out all night, and he's like, hey, man, let's go get some cigarettes and some more beers. So we get in his car, and we're just shooting the shit, just like before, man. He was always cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
cool.
it's just kind of the LA life, man. You just hang
Yeah.
out long enough, it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
And you see motherfuckers walking around the mall and shit. I've seen Eric Estrada in the mall before. It's fucking Eric Estrada and J.C. Penney's. I mean, goddamn.
Buying slacks.
On his motorcycle. No.
Buying slacks.
Brian Brown slacks. Still had his helmet on.
With plates.
Yeah. So that's my Chris Holmes stories. I've always wanted to tell that. I haven't told that to very many people before.
Yeah.
Now 19 people know.
19 people.